On this channel, we provide useful programming information with practical code examples. This time, we will discuss the object class in JavaScript. This article explains the object class in JavaScript, including practical examples. Enabling subtitles will make the code descriptions easier to understand. Object is a built-in object that serves as the base for all JavaScript objects. Many of the language's core features, such as property management, inheritance, prototype chain, enumeration, cloning, and freezing, are provided through the behavior of object. There are multiple ways to create objects, and you should use them appropriately depending on your purpose. The following code shows the simplest and most readable way to create an object. In this example, properties and methods are defined using literals. It is simple and generally offers superior performance. The object constructor is rarely used, but it's helpful to understand its behavior. New object returns an empty object, but the literal is shorter and more common. Object create is used to create an object with a specified prototype. Object create is ideal for inheritance-based object design, allowing you to precisely control the prototype chain. Properties have attributes like value, writable, enumerable, and configurable, which can be controlled in detail with object defined property. Next is an example of defining non-enumerable and read-only properties using defined property. Using defined property allows you to precisely control property behavior such as enumeration, rewriting, and deletion. With accessors, you can inject logic into property reads and writes. With getter and setter, you can treat property access like an external API and add validation or side effects. Inheritance in JavaScript is based on the prototype chain, not on classes. Objects can refer to other objects as their prototypes. The following example shows how to inspect and set prototypes. Object get prototype of retrieves the prototype of an object. Object set prototype of changes the prototype of an existing object, but you should use it carefully since it can affect performance. We will clearly explain the most commonly used and important methods selected from the instance methods provided by object prototype, as well as the static methods owned by object. Has own property is prototype of toString and value of define the basic behavior of objects. Has own property is an essential method for checking if a property is directly on the object. Is prototype OF checks whether the target object has itself as a prototype. Object keys, object values, and object entries return lists of an object's own enumerable properties. They are useful for iteration and transformation. These are frequently used for iterating and transforming objects. Object assign is used for shallow copying and merging. Note that prototypes and accessor properties are not copied. For nested objects, only the references are copied, so you need a different implementation for deep cloning. Object freeze, object seal, and object prevent extensions control the mutability of objects. Freeze is the strictest. It prevents any changes to the object's properties. Seal prevents adding or deleting properties, but allows changing the values of existing properties. Prevent extensions only prevents the addition of new properties. Existing properties can still be changed or deleted. 4. In enumerates enumerable property names, but it also includes properties on the prototype chain, so it's often used in combination with has own property. Combining object keys with for if is safer and makes your intentions clearer. The rules for property enumeration are defined in the ECMAScript specification, and there are cases where the enumeration order is guaranteed and others where it is not. As a general rule, keys interpreted as numbers are ordered in ascending order, while other keys follow the insertion order. There are two types of object copying: shallow copying using object assign or the spread syntax, and deep copying using recursive methods. It is important to use them appropriately depending on the situation. With shallow copying, nested objects share references, so changes in the original object may affect the copy. Using the JSON trick is a quick way to create a deep copy, but it has drawbacks such as losing functions, date, circular references, and undefined values. For true deep cloning, you need to use a dedicated library. JSON-based methods are convenient for quickly handling simple data, but in common cases, their behavior can break. Instead of multiple inheritance, the pattern of composing behaviors using mixins is often used. Mixins are flexible, but you need to be careful about property name collisions and testability. Here are some common pitfalls and best practices. Mutability. Objects are mutable by default. In applications with state management, consider immutable data structures using object, freeze, or an immutable library. Prototype pollution. Merging external data into an object directly with object, assign, or loops can cause unexpected side effects with special properties such as proto or constructor, creating security risks. Filter user input before directly merging it. Pitfalls of for/in. For/in enumerates prototype properties as well, so check with has own property. Using object keys is clearer. Misuse of shallow copy. Consider whether you need deep copying to prevent changes in nested objects from affecting the original object. Patterns that return a new object without directly modifying the state are commonly used in React and similar libraries. This code is an example of creating a new state object without directly modifying the original state object. The toggle to do function copies the todos array and returns a new object with only the target element modified, so the original state remains unchanged. Immutable updates reduce side effects and make state management easier. When merging external JSON, ignore proto to prevent prototype pollution. This kind of protection is also important in libraries and frameworks. With regard to performance, consider the following points. Avoid frequent prototype changes, object, set prototype of, or dynamic addition, removal of properties, as these hinder engine optimizations. When generating many small objects, optimization becomes more effective if you use objects with a uniform structure, the same set of properties. Deep copying is costly. Minimize their use or consider using diff-based updates. Object is central to JavaScript, providing a variety of features such as object creation, property control, inheritance, copying, and mutability management. It is important to understand APIs such as object, define property, object, assign, and object, freeze, and to design with care to avoid pitfalls like prototype pollution and shallow copying. The source code for this video can be downloaded from the official website. If you like, please visit the URL in the description to aid your learning. Thank you for watching until the end. Please subscribe to the channel and look forward to the next video.